Um, my own career, I started out doing sculpture and industrial design, and when I was about 27, 28, entered writing by accident. And I mean, had that not happened, I don't know what I'd be doing now. I'd be selling real estate for Century 21. I don't know, it's kind of depressing to think about. But I think, I mean, for me, writing for magazines was like you getting that commission for the cross. It found something that was dormant inside you and then just like brought it to life.
Definitely.
Now, are you, if you're not a religious person, do you consider yourself, seeking is the word I will use, because I think spiritual is a debased term right now.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I agree with spiritual is so, everybody has a preconceived notion of what it is, but as a person, I don't really believe in a higher power per se. I have a great interest in science and sort of logic, and I think maybe what I do as an artist is kind of the other side of me that I might not be able to acknowledge, you know, seeking for those kind of things, for greater meanings or higher answers. I mean, there's some intellectual side of what I paint. You know, I'm trying to overlay historical images that people understand. You know, they may or may not understand from art history in a modern context, but it's also greater than that. I have a, you know, pretty close connection to what it is that I think I'm trying to put across, be that whatever that may be.
My take on your work is that in the wrong hands, it could look sophomoric.
Yeah.
But the way you do it, instead of it works, and you're kind of like, oh my God, it worked. And the thing is with you, is like everything you do keeps on working.
Yeah, well, that's something I struggle with every day, because when you paint in a realistic style, you're automatically almost sort of disqualified as being a real sort of.
Well, that's the art world.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's not my conception at all, but you're sort of labeled as a
illustrator.
Yeah, provincialist and kind of. It's funny. You asked me about influences, and I know Norman Rockwell has been a great interest.
Well, that's going to earn you big points with the Whitney biennial crowd.
Yeah. Well, I can say that now freely because he has a big retrospective that's touring all the big museums, from what I understand. But I think he's a person I sort of look to do that. Like, he manages to keep the car on the road in between the two ditches of, like you say, of sophomoric and just complete craziness, I guess.
No, but his work is sentimental, and yours is not sentimental.
It is indeed.
You think your work's sentimental?
Not overly, but I mean, his work, yes, you're right about that. I know there's a lot of saccharine elements in his work that you have to kind of sort of set aside. I mean, it just raises the debate that's been going on about him for a long time, but in any case, it's something I struggle with every day, because, you know, after I've been painting, you know, 10, 20 lines of text on a menu or something, I think, well, what the heck am I doing this for? Why aren't I?
Yeah.
Why aren't I an expressionist, and why aren't I an abstract expressionist, or dealing with sort of more general artistic, what's conceived as an artistic concept?
Okay, now here's a question. This is not a booby trap question. I'm just curious. Why do you paint these paintings instead of setting them up as photographs like Jeff Wall or Roy Arden or that crew?
I don't know. I think there's something about the act of painting that's so much that it helps you gain so much more, and I guess it just helps you with your insight into what you're doing. You know, you've got to examine every square inch of the painting and sort of give it your full attention, and that way you really know what's going on in those images. I know I'm also a big fan of the photorealists, and which is a school of painting out of New York in the 1970s, which I'm sure you know. And again, they could be photographs, like you say. Those could be just large-scale Chibichrome backdrops. But the fact that they're painted and every bit is examined and is sort of rendered in perfect, you know, there's no hot spots or cold spots. It's all beautifully, it's all just nice and even tone. And that's a lot about what inspires me, definitely.
Okay, here's a question, and it's not as dumb as it sounds. When you're actually painting, because I've seen your studio, you're in the same studio right now, right?
Actually, I had to move.
Oh, okay.
but it's more or less the same.
More or less the same. When you're there and you've got the radio on or a CD on or something, and it's just you and the canvas and the paint doing whatever, what goes through your head? Are you talking or is the dialogue? With me, when I'm doing gardening or working with wood or materials, like the internal dialogue shut off for a period of time.
Yeah, I would definitely. There isn't really a lot of. I think about sort of the same thing over and over again. Like a conversation or a movie I saw, it just kind of goes on a loop and it just plays in my head, and I'm focused on what I'm doing. I mean, I get bored with it because it tends to intrude after a while.
Well, you can't say that on camera. Never say you're bored with anything you're doing.
No, I don't mean with the painting. I mean, you know, one's brain tends to. You got to go and give it a break after a while. So.
Okay.
But I just kind of sort of dislocate and.
Okay. Now, are your paintings 100% real-life scale? I've never actually stood beside one. So everyone in the paintings are they shrunk a bit or enlarged a bit?
I don't really run around with a ruler or or a slide rule for scale or anything. So it's just what suits the image most. So, I try not to put too much geometric, thought into things. I just like to let the image come as it does. So.
And I notice you have not avoided menus or small letters in your work.
Yeah, that's a toughie. Well, the works I'm doing now are I've got one that it's a magazine cover like Vanity Fair, and there must be 50 lines of text on it, and I've just sort of been frantically going through books on lettering and trying to figure that all out. And just do a few days.
Type.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I need to get some more coffee.
Sounds good.
So you want to come get some coffee with me and we'll come back here?
Okay.
Okay.